Hello, my name is Diana Neff, and this is my video. Welcome to Jaime's World of Horses. Horses are an important part of the agricultural world and the lives of Latino agricultural workers. Jaime works in the United States on a farm for the American agricultural industry. Jaime is just one of the agricultural industry's 52% population of Latino men. Have you ever thought about the conditions that agricultural laborers work under? Latino men are paid very little. There are mixed immigrants working long hours. They have little to no access to health care and even less access to good education. Most know little to no English and are rarely understood. Latino men have accidents on a regular basis. Most are fatal, with only some being non-fatal. Not only do Latinos deal with accidents, but they also deal with language barriers. They have mixed immigration families. They suffer stressors such as depression, mental health problems, post-traumatic stress disorder. The agricultural industry has been steadily hiring more and more Latinos to work with the farmers, and the death toll has been significant. As a nation, Americans depend on the agricultural industry to provide for them. The industry traces its roots back to the 17th century with the arrival of European settlers. Latinos have a long history of working in the American agriculture industry, with their presence documented since at least the 19th century. Prior to the 20th century, Mexicans and Mexican Americans played a crucial role in agricultural labor in the Southwest. The Bracero program, which ran from 1942 to 1964, formally brought Mexican workers to the U.S. to fill agricultural labor shortages, particularly during World War II. Even after the Bracero program ended, Latino workers continued to be a significant part of the agricultural workforce. The agricultural industry did not offer a health insurance program of any kind to the Latino farm workers. Of course, Latinos could simply withdraw some of their own earned income and seek health care without the farmers having to worry about it. They could simply take care of themselves, which would save the agricultural industry quite a lot of money. With the estimated 500,000 Latino agricultural workers, it goes without saying that there should be some mental health resources for this population. Horses can sense when a person has mental health problems, and they can be affected physiologically by them. It is not just the horses that are affected by depression. Depression also affects a worker's ability to do his job. Depression causes fatal accidents, especially if a horse decides to kick the worker and causes serious damage. Cruiser argues equine-assisted therapy has primarily been centered on human health. If the farmers can afford to obtain therapy for the equids, then they should also be able to obtain therapy for the Latino farm workers. Obtaining mental therapy would be far less expensive than going to the trouble of getting more workers and retaining them. Furthermore, while Cruiser argues that PTSD is a crippling disease for a horse, Noshin argues that physiological and behavioral responses affect the horses when military veterans are mounted on them. Depression is just one aspect of mental health which Latinos have a problem with. Studies show horses and their health benefits mainly focus on men and women. Caring for and riding an equid are both therapeutic for the horse and the rider. Cruiser argues that even though there is a high percentage of Latinos who have PTSD, riding a horse can be therapeutic for horse and rider, and Noshin argues that military veterans affect horses more physiologically and behaviorally. Horses, given the chance, would act well behaved as long as the rider, whether veteran or not, acted appropriately. Michael was a veteran with PTSD who had his own horse, which he rode every day without any problems. While some horses can cause mental and physical stress, others are more docile and are easier to work with. They are a very important part of the Latino culture. When Latinos aren't getting hurt on the job, they are training, working with, and caring for horses. Animal safety causes stress, but is the Latinos' well-being. Vasant Kumar argues that horses are a good source of income even outside the United States. Vasantha Kumar also argues that horses can create all kinds of stress for those on the farm. The way mental illness is depicted, it is problematic because often it causes the equids to act inappropriately, and that is when a lot of the fatal accidents happen. Latinos need mental health therapy. When a person has a mental illness, friends and family may not believe them because friends and family already have a preconceived idea on what that illness is supposed to look like. An example of this is when Jaime was kicked in the head by one of the equids then was sent to the farmer's house where he was nursed by the farmer's wife until he could go back to work. Jaime was sending his earned wages back home to his family and did not have the funds to seek good medical treatment. To sum up, Latinos and horses in the agricultural world both have needs and are both as important to society. Without the Latinos, the agriculture industry would be short workers, and without horses, the Latinos would be unable to support their families. Latinos need mental and health care, just like the Equids need a veterinarian at times. Latinos suffer from depression and often have post-traumatic stress disorder. This combination while working with horses is a bad combination. If the agricultural industry provided better care for their workers, then the horses would get good quality work from Latinos and there would not be so many accidents and deaths. Wouldn't it be better knowing that a horse you are riding is a stable horse and does not make you nervous because their trainers were stable at the time they were being trained?